Most men lose women long before they ever realize what went wrong, not because they said the wrong thing, not because they weren't attractive enough, but because they did exactly what they believed they were supposed to do. They chased, they gave more, they tried harder, and slowly, without noticing it, attraction faded. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The harder a man chases a woman, the less she feels drawn to him. That effort, which feels sincere and logical, actually sends the wrong signal. It tells her that he needs her attention to feel valuable. And the moment a man places a woman above his own self-respect, the dynamic shifts. Attraction doesn't grow in that space. It suffocates. Most men are taught that persistence wins love, that consistency proves worth, that showing how much you care will eventually make her choose you. But attraction doesn't respond to pressure or pursuit. It responds to confidence, calmness, and self-control. The men who stand out aren't the ones trying to impress. They're the ones who don't need to. They move through life with direction, grounded in who they are, not desperate to be chosen. And that quiet energy, unforced, steady, and self-assured, is what women feel before a single word is spoken. This is where attraction really begins. When a man chases a woman, he unknowingly disrupts the natural balance that creates attraction. Masculine energy is meant to be grounded, stable, and self-directed. Feminine energy is drawn toward that stability. But the moment a man begins to pursue too aggressively, texting constantly, over-explaining his feelings, adjusting his life around her, he flips that polarity. Chasing places the woman in the position of control. It subtly communicates that her attention is more valuable than his time, his goals, and his peace. Without saying it directly, he signals that he is seeking something from her to feel complete. That shift changes how she experiences him. Instead of feeling drawn in, she feels pressure, and pressure kills desire. Attraction doesn't grow when one person is trying to convince the other of their worth. It grows when value is felt naturally. A man who chases is constantly reacting, waiting for replies, overthinking responses, and adjusting his behavior based on how she acts. This reactive energy feels unstable, even if his intentions are genuine. On the other hand, a man who remains centered doesn't rush the connection. He expresses interest, but he doesn't abandon himself to maintain it. His life doesn't stop moving just because he likes someone. That steadiness creates a sense of emotional safety and intrigue. She feels that he has options, direction, and self-respect. And that's what keeps attraction alive. Chasing always comes from scarcity, even if it doesn't look that way on the surface. It's driven by the quiet fear of losing her, the belief that opportunities are limited, or the idea that this connection is rare and must be secured at all costs. When a man operates from scarcity, his behavior becomes tense and outcome-focused. He gives more than he should, not because it feels right, but because he's afraid of what might happen if he doesn't. An abundance mindset works in the opposite direction. It's rooted in the understanding that your value doesn't disappear if one woman walks away. Your time, attention, and energy are not unlimited resources to be handed out freely. They are earned. When you truly believe this, your behavior naturally changes. You stop chasing, not because you're playing a role, but because there's nothing to chase from. A man grounded in abundance isn't rushing to secure validation. He knows who he is, and he trusts that the right people will recognize it without persuasion. This mindset removes pressure from every interaction. You're no longer trying to win someone over. You're simply allowing connection to develop naturally. Attraction is born in that relaxed state. When a woman senses that you're not clinging, not fearing loss, and not dependent on her response, she experiences something rare, freedom mixed with stability. And that combination is deeply magnetic. Attraction doesn't begin with words, it begins with presence. Before you say anything, a woman already feels how grounded you are. She senses whether your energy is calm or restless, confident or uncertain. Most men underestimate this and focus entirely on what to say, not how they show up. Presence is the ability to be fully grounded in yourself without needing constant validation or attention. A man with presence doesn't rush conversations or fill every silence out of nervousness. He's comfortable being still. That comfort sends a powerful signal. He belongs wherever he is. Silence doesn't make him anxious because he's not trying to prove anything. Silent confidence isn't loud or dominant. It's subtle. It's reflected in relaxed body language, steady eye contact, and calm breathing. This kind of energy feels safe and attractive because it shows emotional stability. A woman may not be able to explain why she feels drawn to it, but she feels it immediately. Men who constantly try to impress project scattered energy. Their attention is outward, focused on reactions and approval. But a man rooted in presence draws attention without effort. His calmness creates curiosity. His restraint creates respect, and that quiet strength speaks louder than any clever line ever could. No matter how carefully you choose your words, your energy always speaks first. Confidence can be rehearsed, style can be improved, and techniques can be learned, but energy reveals the truth of who you are. A woman doesn't just hear what you say, she feels where it's coming from. If deep down you see yourself as not enough, that belief leaks into your behavior. It shows up in subtle ways, seeking reassurance, over explaining, reacting too quickly, or needing constant feedback. Even if everything sounds right on the surface, the underlying tension is felt. That's why attraction can never be forced or faked for long. Real attraction comes from inner alignment. When you're at peace with yourself, your energy becomes calm and steady. You're not trying to impress or convince. You're simply present. That relaxed state communicates self-worth more powerfully than any compliment or gesture ever could. Women are highly sensitive to emotional truth. They sense anxiety as pressure and insecurity as instability. But when your energy comes from self-acceptance and confidence, it feels grounding. It creates comfort, trust, and curiosity all at once. Words can be practiced, but energy cannot be imitated. It's built from who you are when no one is watching. Emotional control is one of the most powerful traits a man can develop, yet it's also one of the most overlooked. Attraction doesn't disappear because a man lacks looks or charm. It disappears when he loses control of his emotions. Overreacting, overthinking, and reacting impulsively are silent signals of instability. Women naturally observe how a man handles uncertainty. Delayed replies, sudden distance, or unexpected changes aren't just situations, they're tests of emotional strength. Not deliberate games, but moments that reveal how grounded a man truly is. The average man reacts immediately. He sends follow-up messages, assumes the worst, or lets anxiety dictate his actions. That reaction communicates dependence. A man with emotional control responds instead of reacts. He notices his emotions without being ruled by them. He breathes, slows down, and chooses patience over panic. This calm response signals inner strength. It shows that his emotional world is stable, regardless of external circumstances. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing feelings or pretending not to care. It means understanding your emotions and refusing to let them control your behavior. When you stay composed under pressure, your presence becomes reassuring. That calm creates trust and respect. A man who remains steady when emotions rise stands out instantly. His restraint isn't weakness, it's power. A man who can regulate his emotions becomes a source of stability in the lives of others. This is what it means to be an emotional anchor. In moments of uncertainty, tension, or confusion, his presence brings calm instead of chaos. And that quality is deeply attractive. Many men believe attraction comes from excitement, intensity, or constant stimulation. But what truly creates connection is emotional safety. A woman wants to feel that a man can handle pressure without losing himself. When situations become unclear or emotions run high, she instinctively notices whether he remains grounded or becomes reactive. An emotionally anchored man doesn't chase reassurance. He doesn't demand clarity in moments that require patience. He trusts himself enough to allow things to unfold without forcing outcomes. His calmness communicates confidence, and his steadiness allows others to relax around him. This doesn't mean he's distant or disconnected. He cares deeply, but he doesn't allow emotions to overwhelm his judgment. His tone stays measured, his actions remain intentional. That consistency creates trust over time. When a man becomes the emotional anchor, people feel secure in his presence. He doesn't drain energy, he stabilizes it, and that quiet sense of security is one of the strongest forms of attraction there is. Nothing weakens a man faster than building his life around another person. When a woman becomes the center of his world, he slowly loses his direction, his balance, and his sense of self. Attraction fades not because he cares, but because he has nothing solid to stand on outside of the relationship. Purpose gives a man gravity. It provides structure, discipline, and meaning that no relationship ever could. When your life is guided by clear goals and personal growth, your energy changes. You stop seeking validation because your progress already fulfills you. You move with intention, not desperation. A man with purpose doesn't chase attention. He's too focused on building something valuable: his career, his health, his craft, or his character. That focus naturally commands respect. Women can sense when a man is aligned with his path versus when he's drifting. Purpose creates confidence without effort. When purpose comes first, relationships feel different. You don't enter them to fill a void. You invite someone into a life that already has meaning. Your attention becomes valuable because it's not always available. Your presence becomes intentional because it's not given freely. A woman doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to walk beside a man who already has one, and that sense of direction makes you impossible to ignore. One of the most misunderstood elements of attraction is mystery. Many men believe that being completely open, always available, and constantly expressive will strengthen connection. In reality, too much access too soon removes curiosity. When everything is revealed immediately, there's nothing left to discover. Mystery isn't about hiding or playing games. It's about pacing. It's allowing your personality, values, and depth to unfold naturally over time. A man who doesn't rush to explain himself or overshare creates space for intrigue. He lets his actions speak louder than constant words. Controlled availability means you have a life that doesn't pause for anyone. You're present when you choose to be, not because you feel obligated. This signals self-respect and independence. When your time isn't always accessible, it becomes more valuable. Curiosity is the root of attraction. When a woman can't fully read you, her mind engages. She starts to wonder, reflect, and feel drawn in emotionally. That investment deepens connection far more than constant availability ever could. In a world where everyone overshares, restraint stands out. Privacy suggests depth. Calm confidence suggests strength. When you move with intention and allow space to exist, attraction grows naturally. Mystery doesn't distance, it invites discovery.